Congratulations, you have made it to the third and final installment of the Crocs road trip to the East. After Philadelphia, we drove to Atlantic City and we started off our trip by going to the Exchange in Galloway, New Jersey.
So the Exchange is actually a food hall that has multiple options in there, including one restaurant called Greens and Grains. And I actually went there with my mom earlier in the year, and it was nice because there are 3 different, or I think maybe even 4 different restaurant options in the food hall, and but there's a common eating area, so I could get my vegan options from Greens and Grains, while my mom was able to get something else from one of the other restaurants. So for this trip, I decided to get the kale with hummus and also a chickpea salad. So they actually offer this with a dressing, but you really don't need it because the chickpea salad has a nice little dressing of its own. And then the hummus, of course, is just awesome. So I like to just mix it all up and eat it as a giant salad, and it was super tasty.
I ended up going with a grain bowl, which was brown rice with eggplant and a chickpea ragu with a cashew cream sauce. It was excellent.
After lunch, we headed to one of my favorite places, which is the Playcade Arcade on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. And this is my favorite arcade. I'm kind of an arcade nerd if you haven't figured that out so far. But this is definitely one of my favorite ones. They have a lot of really cool ticket games. The prizes you can get with the tickets, you know, they have a lot of prizes. They're not that great. They're more geared toward children, but then again, most things in arcades are. But they do have some cool Pokemon plush, which I like to collect. And yeah, we played some skee ball, we did some ticket games, we did some Crossy Road, which is one of my favorite things to play. And we always try to win the jackpot prize on that. We played this really cool Wheel of Fortune game, and it's just a really good time at the Playcade.
Jessica really, really, really loves arcades.
Yeah.
It's one of the most endearing things about her.
Yeah, I might have an arcade problem. We made it to the beach, but our hair is going crazy with all the humidity.
It is very humid, even though it's not very hot around here.
And Guy Fieri is talking in the background.
He's telling us to go get barbecue. I don't think we should listen to him though.
No. Brian said he's gonna do a time lapse. I keep asking him to do a time lapse, and he's like, I'll do a time lapse. So here you go, watch the time lapse.
So we spent the day walking on the boardwalk and just having fun down by the beach, but by the time the sun started to go down, we decided to go to one of Jessica's other favorite places, the Borgata.
Yes, the Borgata is my favorite casino in Atlantic City. I think it's the best one. And we went to go check out, they actually have a really cool
Food court.
Yeah, like a food court. So in the food court area, they actually have some really nice fruit and veggie options that we found, especially if you were staying in the hotel. This would be a nice place to come and grab a quick bite to eat. But we were actually there to hit up the Chop and Toss, which is my favorite place in the food court. It is a really awesome salad place.
Great description there, Jessica.
Thanks. They just have salads. You can pick your own whatever kind of lettuce you want. You can pick whatever kind of toppings you want. It's basically like a salad bar at, Whole Foods or whatever, except for they're making it for you.
They really do have a ton of options for your salads, and you really aren't limited on much. You can make big salads that are great and filling and have a lot of good stuff in them.
Yeah, this is another place that I found when I was traveling with my mom, and it was really nice because, again, it's in a giant food court and there are plenty of options. So if you're traveling with family or other people who don't eat whole food plant-based and they, don't want a salad for dinner or lunch, there's plenty of other options, but then there's a common seating area so you can all sit together and enjoy your food and everybody can get what they want. So yeah, we got a salad. I don't remember exactly which toppings we picked, but we got a really, it was actually super tasty.
It was awesome.
So it's really nice to know that even though you're in Atlantic City, you're at a casino, there are options out there. And I know there's another Chop and Toss, I believe, at the Hard Rock Casino as well, which is nice. So that one's a little bit closer to the boardwalk. So these kind of options can really help you stay on track.
So the next day we hit the road with Peef right there on the dashboard to go see Ocean City.
Yes, the next stop was Ocean City, and it was a lovely day out and a really nice drive. So we figured we would go and walk on the boardwalk and check that out. Now, I ended up liking the Ocean City boardwalk a little bit better than the Atlantic City one, but we're also going during sort of like an off-season time for them, and it was a Friday here in Ocean City, and it was a little bit more lively.
Yeah, it was actually really nice. This is like a family-friendly location. I didn't see any kind of bars or any other establishments like that. It was actually really cool to see. They also had like bikes that you can rent and go up and down the boardwalk, and Jessica really wanted to get a tandem bike, but I wouldn't let her.
One of the primary reasons I wanted to go to Ocean City was to hit up Jilly's Arcade. Yes, another arcade. It's a really cool one that has 10-cent skee ball, and they have a lot of like pinball machines that are only a quarter. So it's a really cool arcade, and they have a free parking lot, which I would imagine during like the busier season would be even more valuable.
Either way, it was just nice walking down along the boardwalk. We ended up running into somebody who actually recognized us.
Yes.
Yes.
I think her name was Lisa.
Yes, Lisa, if you are out there, it was a blast actually getting to see you. Thank you very much for saying hi.
It was so crazy.
But we couldn't stick around all day on the boardwalk. We ended up having to go even further south in New Jersey to Cape May.
Yes, I really wanted to go to Cape May. I went with my mom, and I could not wait to bring Brian here to see all of the cool architecture and Victorian style homes.
So of course, we took a nice trolley tour around the city, and it was really spectacular. There are so many amazing homes here, and you look at this, and our tour guide was very knowledgeable of the entire town, telling us details about pretty much every home that we came across. It was just really interesting to see sort of this snapshot of an American town kind of stuck in this past setting. Yeah, it's just incredible to see all of these super nice homes and like all colorful.
So the funny part was when we were in Cape May is when we realized something, is that we vacation like old people.
Yes, very true.
So not to like offend anybody, but when we were walking around, we were like, oh my gosh, everyone here is like a lot older than us. But the thing is, I like to do this kind of stuff. This is what I like to do. This is where I want to go travel. So we obviously vacation like we're like some retired couple, but I think it's just hilarious and awesome.
Yeah, it cracks me up too. I've always said I have the spirit of a young child or an old man. So after we got done with the tour, we ended up walking down through some of the shops in the town. They have a bunch of different types of shops here. You can get all sorts of souvenirs or little knickknacks and doodads, or you can stop in at one of the many restaurants or shops that sell like coffee or tea or something like that. All in all, it was actually really cool to see just all these little shops and stuff. And then of course there's like the weird random like Ben and Jerry's right there. It's like one corporate thing, but it doesn't matter because this place has one of Jessica's all-time favorite places on earth, and that is
Cape May Peanut Butter Company.
She was super excited about this, trust me.
Yes, Cape May Peanut Butter Company, they have like little samples of each kind of peanut butter that you can taste. Now, they are not all like, 100% just, obviously they're not all 100% peanuts, which is like what we tend to stick to. But they have like a chocolate one and all kinds of different ones that are, that you can taste. But I actually really like to get their organic peanut butter because it is just peanuts and nothing else, and it is just ground, like there's nothing added at all, and it's one of my favorites to use, so I love coming to this shop.
After Jessica checked out the peanut butter there, we ended up going and getting some dinner at the Mad Batter. Now, you may be wondering, Brian and Jessica, why did you go to the Mad Batter? Well, very simple. They actually had a lot of really good vegan options.
Yes, they have a whole separate part of their menu that's dedicated to vegan options. Again, this is another place I went to with my mom when we were in town earlier this year, and I got a really good tofu scramble that was just tofu and veggies, and it was super tasty. But this was the dinner menu, which was a little bit more expensive and definitely like overpriced for what it is, for sure. But we were on vacation and we had, we'd been eating at salad bars and that kind of places, so we thought a really nice, meal out would be a good option. So what did we go with, Brian?
We ended up going with the Seitan hot wings.
You were super excited to try that one.
Yes, and they turned out like so good. It was kind of crazy how good they actually were, and they were spicy too, which I really, really enjoyed. And the other thing we had was the vegan crab cake, which was made from hearts of palm and chickpeas and with a vegan remoulade. But for the main course, we ended up getting the vegan Wellington, which is eggplant, portobello mushroom, roasted red pepper, spinach. It says it has a vegan house cheese sauce. I couldn't find it though.
Yeah, I just saw the vegan cheese they had on the outside, which doesn't really do much for me, but.
Yeah, but it's all covered in this puff pastry, which was vegan, of course. And let me just open this up for you and let you see inside to the goodness therein.
Yes, this was super tasty. Obviously not like a super healthy option, but it was just a fun thing to have, and it was really good. Now, was it worth the price that we paid for it? Heck no. But, you live and you learn.
It was really good though. So one suggestion that we got from Lisa was to go to Sunset Beach.
I hope her name is really Lisa.
Yeah, it'd be horrible if we kept calling her the wrong name this entire time.
Lisa, if you're out there and your name's Lisa, please comment and let us know so that we can feel better about our lives.
So yes, we went to Sunset Beach and it was incredible. We got to stand there and watch as the sun went down with this beautiful sky and these beautiful clouds, and it was really awe-inspiring.
But after that, our time in New Jersey was up, unfortunately, and we had a really long drive home. It would take us 2 days and, 15 or 16 hours worth of driving, so we had to book it.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad for us. In fact, it was a very pleasant trip home. We had a lot of really great scenery going through a bunch of different states that we've never gone through. Maryland was really cool to see. I've never been to Maryland. I'd like to go back because we saw some of the cities, but didn't get a chance to stop because we had to book it home. But we also got to drive through a good portion of West Virginia and see some really cool mountains. and just sort of a dream for me because I'd seen West Virginia in so many different movies and like documentaries and stuff, and so it was just really, really cool to see those mountains, and those roads are pretty awesome too.
Yeah, so on the way back, we purposefully picked a route that was different than our way out there so that we would get to see more stuff. And it was really nice to drive through a lot of areas, but like Brian said, I wish we had been able to stop because you always find those little places along the way that are kind of just fun to see, and we didn't really have any time for any of that kind of stuff. It was more just like get gas and go.
Yep, that is exactly what ended up happening a lot of the time. Although we did end up making a stop in Lexington, Kentucky, before finally going through Louisville and on home to St. Louis.
You mean Louisville?
Yeah, I mean Louisville.
Louisville?
But that is pretty much the end of our entire trip. We had an absolutely fantastic time. And Jessica, do you have anything to add?
The only thing that I would add, well, it was just an amazing trip. It was nice to get away. It was nice to like unplug and try to stay off social media and our phones and all that as much as possible, and just spend a nice vacation together. And the other thing I noticed a few days after we got back is that we didn't argue on this trip at all. And it was just nice to like, we were just in a peaceful, relaxed state the entire time, I feel like.
Yeah, it was honestly one of the most pleasant vacations that we've ever been on.
Because we never argue, I mean.
Uh-huh. Lie to these people.
We always get along perfectly well. But no, it was. I'm telling you, there have been some trips in the past where we've had like massive arguments and like, this was just one where everything was nice. There wasn't, we didn't have deadlines or really things to worry about for a majority of the time. And it was just nice to get out and drive around and see more of America.
Absolutely. But after Louisville, we ended up driving through Indiana and then through my home state of Illinois before we would finally get back to St. Louis, and it was just nice. We had some absolutely gorgeous sunsets on this trip, as you saw in this video. And fortunately, I was there to actually record it and do some of those nice time lapse. Thank you for reminding me to do those, Jessica, because I had completely forgotten I could do that. But I believe that is it for this travel vlog, our 3-part series of our trip to the East. Please find us on all of our social media stuff, especially Instagram, because Jessica started posting on there after we got done with our trip. And you can find us on Facebook and Pinterest and all the rest. Also, be sure to check out any of the blog posts linked in the description below.
Yes, I actually have done a blog post for each of the episodes of our travel vlog with photos from our trip and all kinds of links to stuff that we did. So if you want to check out or find any more information about somewhere we went, just check out the blog posts that are linked below. And also, like Brian said, on our social media, I've been updating with photos from our trip as well. But the thing that I'm most excited about is getting back into the kitchen.
Yeah, we feel like we've been away for way too long from cooking, and we are very excited to be getting back to our standard videos of recipes and vlogs about actually losing weight and that kind of stuff. The vacation videos have been an absolute blast. We got a tip video coming up for you right after this one, but we are very excited to be getting back into the kitchen and getting back to cooking.
We have so many new ideas for recipes. I can't wait to share them with you guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep, but I think that's all I got for this one. Jessica, is that all you got?
That's all I got.
We will see you next time on Crocs in the Kitchen. Bye.
We're waving, but you can't see us.